What if I told you that right now, in 2026, there are places in the great state of Ohio where even the locals won't walk alone after dark? Places where your car can disappear in minutes, where a wrong turn can put you face to face with danger you never saw coming. Ohio is a beautiful state, home to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, stunning national parks, friendly small towns, and some of the best college football in America. But just like every state, Ohio has a shadow side. A side that the travel brochures will never show you. I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to protect you. Because whether you're a lifelong Ohio resident, a tourist passing through, or someone thinking about moving here, you need to know the truth. Today, we are going to count down the 10 places in Ohio you should never visit alone in 2026. These aren't just opinions. These are backed by the latest FBI crime data, 2026 neighborhood safety reports, and real statistics that paint a very serious picture. Stay until the end, because number 1 might genuinely shock you, and there's a warning about it that could save your life. Let's get into it. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button right now. We cover real safety information, travel warnings, and eye-opening content about America every single week. You don't want to miss it. Hit subscribe, let's go. Number 10. Lima, Ohio. Lima might sound like a quiet Midwestern town, and in many ways it is. But don't let that small city charm fool you for even 1 second. Lima reports around 758 violent crimes and 3,368 property crimes per 100,000 residents, both significantly higher than Ohio's state average. That is not a small gap. That is a canyon. When you look at those numbers, what they're really telling you is that Lima has a serious, ongoing safety problem that hasn't been solved. The biggest concern in Lima isn't just violent crime. It's what happens to your property the moment you let your guard down. Statistically, you have about a 1 in 29 chance of being a property crime victim in Lima, and much of the city's risk is linked to vehicle theft and break-ins concentrated around the downtown area. Think about that. 1 in 29. If you parked 30 cars on a downtown Lima street tonight, statistically, one of them would be broken into or stolen. For our viewers who are 40 and older, you may remember Lima from decades past as a solid working-class city built on manufacturing. That era has largely faded. Economic decline, unemployment, and poverty have created conditions where crime thrives. The south side areas of Lima should especially be avoided after dark. If you have family in Lima or need to pass through, be smart. Park in well-lit areas, never leave valuables visible in your vehicle, and avoid walking alone, especially at night. Lima deserves to recover, but right now, caution is the word. Place number 9, Mansfield, Ohio. Mansfield, Ohio sits about 75 miles northeast of Columbus and has been dealing with a crime crisis that just keeps getting worse. Mansfield shows about 1,009 violent crimes and 2,187 property crimes per 100,000 residents, producing a property crime chance of roughly 1 in 33. What makes this especially alarming is the direction things are heading. This isn't a city that's improving. The situation has been getting worse, with a crime increasing in the last 5 years score of 90, one of the highest in the entire state. Mansfield's downtown area and low-traffic blocks are particular hotspots. Vacant housing and frequent vehicle theft make it especially wise to avoid downtown alleys and low-traffic blocks at night. Now, Mansfield does have some genuine charm. The historic Renaissance Theater and nearby Mohican State Park are wonderful, but the city proper requires a level of awareness that many visitors simply don't bring with them. What's driving the crime in Mansfield? Like many Ohio cities on this list, it comes down to a combination of economic hardship, a struggling job market, and drug activity. The opioid crisis hit Mansfield particularly hard, and its ripple effects, theft, robbery, assault, are still being felt daily by residents. If you visit Mansfield, stick to well-traveled areas, go during daylight hours, and absolutely do not wander alone in unfamiliar parts of the city. The people of Mansfield are largely good, hard-working folks, but the environment they're dealing with is genuinely dangerous for the unprepared visitor. Number 8. Warren, Ohio. Warren, Ohio is a Trumbull County city that sits in the northeast corner of the state, not far from the Pennsylvania border. It's been on the radar of crime analysts for years, and in 2026 it remains one of the more underreported danger zones in Ohio. Cities like Warren faced plant closures and population loss, and in such cases, limited job opportunities and deteriorating neighborhoods lead directly to higher crime. Warren's downtown area has struggled with concentrated criminal activity, and the neighborhoods surrounding the city center carry some of the highest risk. Neighborhoods like Warren rank among the highest crime areas in the Youngstown metropolitan region. For anyone visiting Warren alone, whether for business, visiting family, or passing through, the advice is the same. Be extremely situationally aware. Don't flash expensive jewelry or electronics. Don't use your phone while walking in unfamiliar areas. Stay on main roads and well-lit areas. The sad truth about Warren is that it has a rich industrial history. This was once a booming steel town. But as factories closed and jobs dried up over the decades, poverty became entrenched. Today, that poverty has a direct relationship with the crime rates that residents and visitors experience. Local law enforcement works hard here, but the underlying social and economic challenges keep the crime numbers elevated. Warren is a place where you can visit, but you should never, ever go alone without being fully aware of where you are and what neighborhood you're in. Number 7. Toledo, Ohio. Toledo is Ohio's fourth largest city, sitting right on the Michigan border along Lake Erie. It's a city with real cultural assets. The Toledo Museum of Art is world-class and the food scene is underrated. But Toledo also consistently makes the list of Ohio's most dangerous cities, and the 2026 data doesn't offer much comfort. Toledo records 1,041 violent crimes per 100,000 people, a violent crime rate that is 254% higher than the Ohio average. That number needs to sink in. 254% higher than the state average. Toledo's crime profile is driven by concentrated drug offenses in specific neighborhoods and economic instability following industrial shifts. Certain areas on Toledo's east and south side carry particularly high risk. According to the most recent annual crime report, a resident of Toledo faces a 1 in 96 chance of becoming a victim of crime, with 2.85 violent crimes occurring every single day. For older visitors especially, Toledo can be deceptive. The waterfront area and downtown core have seen some investment and renovation, which can create a false sense of security. But step a few blocks in the wrong direction, and the environment changes rapidly. Drug activity in certain Toledo neighborhoods is open and visible, and that brings associated crimes, robbery, assault, carjacking, with it. If you're visiting Toledo, absolutely go see the museum, enjoy the Mud Hens game, explore the riverfront, but do it with a group. Do your research on which neighborhoods to avoid, and never, under any circumstances, wander alone at night in unfamiliar Toledo streets. Number 6. Akron, Ohio. Akron is perhaps best known globally as the birthplace of LeBron James and as the former rubber capital of the world. Today it's a mid-sized city of about 190,000 people, and like many post-industrial Ohio cities, it carries a complicated safety profile. Certain east and south end neighborhoods in Akron should be avoided late at night, as some areas repeatedly experience armed incidents that inflate citywide crime rates. Akron experiences 32.90 incidents per 1,000 people, with the University District seeing the highest frequency of violent offenses, including assault and robbery. The University District being a hotspot is particularly important for this audience to understand. It means that even areas that seem vibrant and populated during the day can shift dramatically in character after dark. The Akron Police Department has pursued community policing initiatives to strengthen officer connections with citizens, which is a positive step, but the underlying challenges remain significant. What makes Akron stand out on this list is the sheer unpredictability. Akron has genuinely nice neighborhoods and genuinely dangerous ones, often in close proximity to each other. A traveler who doesn't know the city well can easily end up in the wrong area without realizing it until it's too late. The advice here is firm. Do your research before you go, use GPS and stay on planned routes, and if you're visiting alone, especially as an older adult, be extremely cautious after sunset in residential areas east and south of the downtown core. Quick pause. If you're finding this video valuable, please subscribe right now. Every week we bring you real, research-backed information about safety in America that most channels won't talk about. Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Now let's keep going, because it gets more serious from here. Number 5. Dayton, Ohio. Dayton sits in western Ohio and was once one of the most innovative cities in America. The Wright brothers were from here, after all. But in 2026, Dayton's crime statistics are anything but inspiring. Dayton's crime index is around 71.51, and the city reported around 1,605 violent crimes and 5,875 property crimes in the latest FBI-derived data. Those property crime numbers are staggering for a city of Dayton's size. The chance of property crime victimization in Dayton is approximately 1 in 21. 1 in 21. That's not a statistic to take lightly. Dayton faces significant crime challenges, particularly with property crime. Burglary and theft are extremely common, while violent crime is also rising in certain neighborhoods. The opioid epidemic has hit Dayton harder than almost any other American city. For years, Dayton was making national headlines for overdose deaths, and the drug crisis brought with it a wave of property crime as addicted individuals sought money through theft and burglary. Dayton does have neighborhoods that are working hard to recover. The Oregon District is one of the most vibrant urban neighborhoods in Ohio, but even the Oregon District saw a mass shooting in 2019 that killed 9 people and injured dozens more. That event serves as a grim reminder that danger doesn't always come from the direction you expect. If you visit Dayton, be aware of your surroundings at all times, avoid isolated areas, especially after dark, and never assume that a neighborhood's daytime energy reflects its nighttime reality. Number 4. Cincinnati, Ohio. Cincinnati is one of Ohio's most famous cities, home to the Bengals, the Reds, the Cincinnati Zoo, and genuinely wonderful food and culture. But Cincinnati also consistently appears on Ohio's most dangerous cities lists, and the 2026 data confirms it deserves its place here. Cincinnati has a population of 311,599 and reports 845 violent crimes per 100,000, the 9th most dangerous level in Ohio, along with 3,129 property crimes per 100,000. There might be lions and tigers and bears at the Cincinnati Zoo, but it turns out that the city's streets in certain areas are the really dangerous places. While Cincinnati is known for its cultural attractions, some neighborhoods, particularly in the southern and eastern parts of the city, experience higher than average rates of violent crime, including shootings and robberies. For visitors, Cincinnati can feel like a thoroughly modern, safe city, and in many parts it is. But the key word is parts. The city has dramatic inequality between its neighborhoods, and some areas that appear on a map to be close to tourist attractions carry very real risks. Cincinnati recorded 68 murders in recent reporting periods, which for a city its size represents a significant public safety challenge. If you're visiting Cincinnati, and there are absolutely wonderful reasons to do so, stick to the well-known tourist corridors, research the specific neighborhoods you'll be traveling through, and never walk alone in unfamiliar parts of the city after dark. Number 3. Youngstown, Ohio. Youngstown is where this list starts getting truly serious. Located in northeast Ohio near the Pennsylvania border, Youngstown has been struggling with violent crime for decades, and 2026 brings no relief. Youngstown's overall crime rate is 137% above the national average as of 2026, and the city has higher crime than 97% of major U.S. cities. Read that again. 97% of major American cities are safer than Youngstown. With a crime rate of 34 per 1,000 residents, Youngstown has one of the highest crime rates in America compared to all communities of all sizes. Your chance of becoming a victim of either violent or property crime here is 1 in 29. The neighborhoods with the highest crime rates in Youngstown include Briar Hill, East High, Downtown Youngstown, and Lansdowne. And visitors and prospective residents should exercise extreme caution in these neighborhoods, particularly at night. Youngstown also has one of the highest rates of motor vehicle theft in the nation. Your car is genuinely at risk here in a way that it simply isn't in most American cities. Youngstown's 2026 Impact Initiative is targeting violent crime with increased police presence and proactive patrols, which shows the city is fighting back. But the depth of the problem means improvement will take time. Post-industrial struggles, plant closures, population loss, and limited job opportunities have created a cycle of poverty and crime that has proven extremely difficult to break. Youngstown is a city with a proud history, but in 2026, it is absolutely a place you should never visit alone. Number 2, East Cleveland, Ohio. East Cleveland is a small, separate municipality adjacent to the city of Cleveland, and it carries the distinction of being one of the most dangerous places to be in the entire United States. East Cleveland has a violent crime rate that is 380% higher than the Ohio average, topping 1,410 violent crimes per 100,000 people in the last calendar year, 380% higher than the state average. That is not a rounding error. That is a genuine crisis. East Cleveland is widely cited as Ohio's poorest city, with a poverty rate of around 39.5% and a median household income of just $23,004. Poverty at that level creates conditions where crime becomes a survival mechanism for some and where law-abiding residents are caught in the crossfire. In some areas of East Cleveland, residents face a 1 in 71 chance of becoming a victim of a violent crime. East Cleveland is not a place that appears on tourist itineraries, and there's a reason for that. It's a place that has been failed by decades of disinvestment, municipal dysfunction, and economic abandonment. The people who live there are mostly hard-working individuals trapped in a very difficult environment. For any visitor, regardless of age, regardless of time of day, East Cleveland demands your highest level of caution. If you have no specific reason to be there, there is simply no reason to go. And if you do have reason to visit, go with others, go prepared, and be aware of your surroundings every single moment you are there. Number 1, Cleveland, Ohio. And here we are. Number 1. Cleveland, Ohio holds the distinction of being the most dangerous city in Ohio, with 1,561 violent crimes per 100,000 people, a violent crime rate that is 432% higher than the Ohio average. 432%. That's not a statistic you can brush aside. Cleveland consistently ranks as the most dangerous city in Ohio based on the most recent FBI crime data. Residents face a 1 in 64 chance of being attacked, and the city recorded 109 murders in the most recent reporting period, including the third highest murder rate and second highest rate of rape cases statewide. Cleveland's crime rate is 155% higher than the national average, with factors such as poverty, unemployment, and gang activity driving specific statistics around homicides, assaults, and robberies. Cleveland's poverty rate stands at about 29.3%, nearly 2.5 times the national rate, and an astonishing 45.5% of children in Cleveland live in poverty. That scale of child poverty is heartbreaking, and it's also a predictor of future crime cycles if it isn't addressed. Cleveland has also been suffering from significant police shortages. In 2023, the city lost 87 officers in just 8 months, straining patrol coverage and slowing response times. Now, and this is important, Cleveland is a large city with enormous variation between neighborhoods. There are beautiful, safe areas of Cleveland. The suburbs are largely very livable. But for someone visiting alone, especially someone unfamiliar with the city's geography, Cleveland presents real, documented danger in a way that demands respect. Property crime rates are high throughout Cleveland, while the city faces elevated levels of violent assaults and robberies, specifically in downtown and east side areas. If you visit Cleveland and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the West Side Market, and the sports culture are genuinely worth experiencing, go with people you trust. Research your route. Stay in well-reviewed, centrally located accommodation, and never, ever allow yourself to be isolated alone in an unfamiliar Cleveland neighborhood, especially after dark. And that is our list. 10 places in Ohio you should never visit alone in 2026. From Lima all the way up to Cleveland, the pattern is the same. Economic hardship, post-industrial decline, drug activity, and underfunded communities create conditions that are genuinely dangerous for the unprepared. This video isn't about shaming these cities or the people who call them home. It's about giving you, our viewers, the real information you need to make safe decisions. The people of Cleveland, Youngstown, Dayton, and every other city on this list are largely good, hard-working Americans dealing with circumstances far bigger than themselves. Our respect for them and our concern for your safety are both genuine. Now here's what I need from you before you go. If this video gave you valuable information, like it right now. It takes 1 second and it helps this channel reach more people who need this information. Subscribe if you haven't already. We publish real, research-backed safety content every week, and you don't want to miss what's coming next. Drop a comment below. Are you from Ohio? Do you live in or near any of these cities? Have you had an experience that confirmed or surprised you about safety in your area? We read every single comment and we genuinely want to hear from you. Share this video with someone you care about, a friend planning a trip to Ohio, a family member who lives in one of these areas, or anyone who you think needs to see this information. Sharing is free and it could genuinely make a difference. We'll see you in the next one. Stay safe, stay aware, and take care of each other.